leader, but there was a lot of morality problems in the Catholic Church for several hundred years. And this was some of the waterworks. They had a lot of different waterworks that this cardinal built. Those were chairs. If you sat when he sat people around that picnic table, he would give an order when he went to get a bottle of wine to serve his guests. Water would come shooting up out of the bottom of the chairs and all over the place, and everyone would get wet. A real jokester. And there was a lot of fountains. As you walked through the gardens, water squirts would come out of different places, and everyone was getting wet. Those were chairs that you sat on, and they turned the water on so Margie could get a drink. There's another little joke. Some people walking around the fountains there. Oh, and this was really an ingenious device. This was about a 200-year-old invention. Someone built a multifaceted clock. Let's see, 113 moving figures, 27 years in the making, water-powered by clockwork movement to organ music. So, and here's the little organ music makers, Michael and Tommy and Caryn, looking very stoic. And here's the clock with 113 moving parts, all powered by a water wheel. This guy worked for 27 years for this cardinal, building this thing right into a cavern. And they're just little miniature. Each one of those pieces is 2-3 inches tall. People are dancing and they're playing music and they're sawing wood. It's a whole village of workers having a great old time. This reel is almost over. This is reel number 41, shot June 1st through the 5th, 1972 on our trip to Vienna. So this was coming to the conclusion of our second year in Germany. We didn't take a home leave that year, I think, because we weren't sure, or did we? No, I guess this was the year you might have gone to, see, I think the next reel might be Arizona. So I guess I had secured the job. Oh yeah, Michael went up, or Mark went to Berchesgarten. Mark spent 5 days on a mountain climbing trip where they went up to Berchesgarten thinking they were going to get nice cool weather, but it rained for 5 days, so they climbed mud mountains. He went with the ISS group from International School of Stuttgart, where he goes to school. Just completed 6th grade. He will be starting 7th grade in Patch Barracks next year. And that was Caryn, and this is the end of this reel, folks. See you. First trip was shot. Same kind of place it was back in our days. So there's the Dickens Old Curiosity Shop. We went in there and bought a lot of little trinkets. Some souvenirs of our days in London. The second trip was July of '72, and that's why it's in this sequence. After the trip to, where was it, to Vienna, previous reel, we went, I guess maybe it was June actually, we saw your cousin, I forget her name, must be in there, Price. It's at the end of Sally Price. Sally and her husband Mike were in, there's some Hyde Park, and here's a scene of Mike, Frank with, and here's London. That seems to be taping. When boats want to go underneath, rather than opening up the whole bridge, rides up on the towers like two elevators. Tape. All kinds of wires and things going on here. And here are the jewels of London. Jewels of the Queen. Imperial State Crown. Very beautiful. I took pictures of the pictures because it was so dark again in the museum that it was cannon outside the tower, used to defend London. This tower, by the way, is a fortress. You'll see the walls and the moats later on, and there's a lot of British military that stay in this fortress. Fortress was built right on the edge of the Thames. And there's another bearskin hat. You kids were off to school. There's some dates. 1536, somebody was beheaded. 1443, this is where the site of the scat. Victors in battles. Bearskin cats we talked about. British Empire may have been the greatest ever known. The British were also the best thieves. They stole all kinds of valuables from their captors all over the world. That's the first time I've ever seen a bearskin cap guard smile. He was actually being friendly to that beautiful blonde girl. I guess that he thought he was making time with her. Maybe it was his wife, who knows. Another view of the Tower Bridge, Tower of London area. There's more Egyptian valuables from the pyramids in London Museum than there is anywhere else or the rest of the world combined. When the British went over there and captured Egypt, they stole Egypt blind. And there's my favorite leather jacket again, and my favorite red turtleneck sweater. Still have that turtleneck sweater, and I'm not sure what happened to that leather jacket. Adrie by the Thames. I think we took a taxi ride, and I was shooting movies with the taxi. This was a combination business trip and holiday, I believe. Parliament, Big Ben. Big Ben was probably going off. Oh, and there's Tommy and Margie. Used to have the kids make the titles for me, and this was a good way to capture them at the same time you were doing titles, especially when they weren't in a trip that we had made, which they're not. This was just the two of us. There's Westminster and Big Ben. That's the Parliament buildings. And Westminster Abbey right next to it. Stained glass window commemorating the plague, the Black Plague. I think you kids know that. Nikki, you know the little sing-song? So they made up a game and they said ring around the rosy, and they had flowers that they would throw on the ashes of the dead cremated people, pockets full of posy, ashes, ashes, and then they'd all fall down. I guess everyone was dying and everyone was falling down when they got the Black Plague. So that comes right out of London. And there's the Horse Guards. They changed the Horse Guards. I think we took movies of this several times on different clips with the kids. You went to see them too, kiddies. Horses were very patient with people poking them in the nose. Queen's Guards. There is Admiral Nelson's statue and tomb. Scene of London near the British Museum is to the left of that area there. Parliament and Big Ben again from another view. Double-decker buses. We took a double-decker bus for our group in Dublin to the formal dinner that we had for them. It was a big hit. And there's the horse parades being changed again, horse guards being changed again at the horse parade, I think they call that. Standing guard. Kids were getting very close to these horses. They had a Persian lamb blanket over the horse there. That's what I was taking a shot of. Beautiful fur piece. The horse guards' hats are made out of bearskin, bear fur, and the lap blankets, the horse coats that they put on. There's the inspection of the horse guards. Those lap blankets or horse blankets were made out of Persian lamb. I started to say some of the English traditions were interesting.